If at first you don't succeed, make sure you always try again. People that put barriers and things, roadblocks in front of you in this life, make sure you beat them down. I'ma always say it. I'm not from a world where I could teach people nonsense and teach people that they can't look through a screen or that they must feed into nonsense that is not true. My heart and my soul bleeds out when I look at how humanity live. Bless up, King, man. Bless up, Elder. Bless up, man. Because the more I study, is the more I ask myself why. And for a lot of people, it'll be simple for me to draw things down as Caucasian people took from melanated people. It's not so simple. It's not so simple because every time I go back into my books and go back into studying, and when I mean my books, I mean books for real, okay? I mean stuff that I write down, and I mean books that I read. You always see certain things different, and I like to study many different things, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't say this is how I get an edge on certain people, but if I don't know something, I try my best to learn it. I don't like to be spaced out, and knowledge is power, and like people, I build upon that. People, they don't know that when we come into this world as like, babies or infants, like we learn from the people around us, and we absorb many different things and we learn different things, and some of it could be good, some of it could be bad, but the thing is we pick it up, and your mind is supposed to filter certain things out. Like what you need is what you need to help you and others, because the reason why I say you and others, because what you do affects others. I am tired of people thinking that, saying that they're an independent person, or like I don't care about nobody else. When you say you don't care about nobody else and things like that, you have to understand the vibrations that you corrupt in your mind and in your voice and in your body and your soul. What you do affects others. So I get tired of hearing people talk about I'm doing me. Yeah, it's okay, but when you doing you, right? Who is suffering from you doing you? And this is why I've always explained things of when people, talk about whether you think you're a gangster, a thug, bad B, a hot girl, whatever you think you are, like all that's a facade. It's like fake, you know? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, all that is like fake and a facade, and you don't get nothing from it, and I don't underestimate people, but I surely look at a lot of people as clowns as they are, you know, because I don't, I don't know. I'm just not into playing with nonsense. And the reason why I say that, like, I will get back to when we was all kids, like, you learn. And I will get deeper. You learn to learn. You know, I don't know why people will live on Earth or even live in this universe and not like to learn. I don't know why you would want to be stuck in the same position. Don't matter where you grew up at, don't matter what's your culture, you are always supposed to build. Okay? Because if you look at a baby being born, that's birth, that's creation. When you come into this universe, you are something that's a builder, a creator. Okay? So it's not about people telling you about this religion or that religion, and this is how people messed up the code. Okay? Because if you could take a male and a female, and that could make another male or female, you as humans are so naive and so crazy where humans like to make up different scenarios in the universe. You see, some humans are just stuck on Earth only, and then they are just stuck on planets. Or they're just stuck on talking about humans, or they're just stuck on speaking about people itself. And they don't know nothing else about life. And some people will say, why do I always say that? Because I'm going to keep on saying that the world was taught very wrong. I'm going to say it. You think that people that don't know nothing about the universe, but they tell you about, oh, this is called Earth. They tell you this is called space. These. And when our ancestors spoke about the sun, the moon, and the stars, you laughed at them talking about they're worshiping. What are they worshiping? You know, like, and this is where you have to be very mindful, because they're not mindful with words that they use, but they could just teach people to follow anything, and the people would follow anything. But stuff that was set before you started following, people don't follow that set pattern. Okay? And I'll say it plain and simple. Before you had religion order, you had spirituality order in this world. I will continue to say it. Because without spirituality, none of you humans on this earth will follow no religion. You wouldn't know what to follow. But those who know, they will know. And they will live. You know, they will follow. I remember an elder once told me that you can't really beat people down because humans need something to follow and something to believe in. And I was like, wow. I remember telling the elder lady, I was like, I get that, but what happened to the old way of believing in yourself? What happened to the old way of believing in yourself? Why did we come so far as humans and we cannot tell a human being to believe in themselves? Why we can't do that no more? But we could make humans beat other humans down verbally with words. But we can't tell people to build themselves up. You can't give people self-encouragement. And this is why you gotta keep on fighting for people in this world. You gotta keep on fighting for the good souls in this world. Because the people that want to see people live sick, mixed up, confused. Those are the people that they don't have no life. You gotta stop looking at the riches and the gold. Stop looking at so-called royal people and thinking that they have life. Because in this life that we live, money doesn't mean nothing, because they live and they have problems worse than the common man and woman. Okay, you have to understand, if you want to take it back religiously, and I say religiously to put it into an order, put it into a text. Whether you want to use God, Buddha, Allah, or Jai, any one of those three that humans want to say didn't make money, okay? God didn't make money. God didn't make paper money. God didn't make coins. So when you see humans in the world killing each other, doing so much deceitful things to each other for paper and coins, copper, silver, many different physical things, you always ask yourself, well, I will say I ask myself, why are some humans living? What are they living for? Because if you draw it down to you living to pay bills, you living to buy stuff, you living to get married, you living to get divorced, or you living to do everything that they taught you to do except for actually living for real, that's what humanity is stuck in right now. Humanity is not living life. Okay? Humanity is in a cage, in a box. Okay? Because when you, and this is why I like to study, because when you want to think outside of the box that everybody live in, that's when you become a problem to their code. That's when you become a problem to their program. That's when you become something that they don't like. I would just use for an example right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene been supporting Trump for years upon years, right? In Georgia Republican lady. Now, when you disagree with certain people in this world, I say certain people because some people in this world don't got sense, you feel me? So you have to talk to them in a certain way, okay? I know how I gotta deliver a message to people in this world, because certain people, they only think how they want to think. They don't think how they're supposed to think. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Certain people only think how they want to think. They don't think how they're supposed to think. Okay, and with saying that, even some people will still do what they're doing. Okay. I'm gonna call her MTG. She been supporting Trump for years and years, and that she feels as a human being that it's not right what he's saying or doing, because they've been going back and forth at it for a minute now. Trump and Marjorie, he called her a traitor and all that, but this is just to show you in human history, when you don't go along with people and you step outside of their boxes, they don't like that. And many Republicans may not attack her, but the Republicans that like Trump, they would attack her. And I'm going to say this, I'll throw this in the mix, because I like to throw this into the political mix of American politics. The Democrats should back her up, okay? Because it's not about Democrat and Republican, but If the Democrats are gonna attack her if she was going for Trump, that's cool. I understand that as political warfare. But now that she's speaking up against the nonsense that she don't like that he's doing, and they've been speaking up against him in certain different situations, don't you think y'all should side together? Don't you think that they should back her up and she should back them up too? You have to understand, if we're living in this thing called America and the whole earth itself, we have to do better as growing as people. Okay? Whatever they're doing is what they doing, but what they doing can't make the human civilization, excuse me, can't make the human civilization grow on earth. Okay? Because they're just making the human civilization stagnated. They're holding it back. Because, I'm going to be honest, I want to see a woman president in America. I'm going to say it again. I want to see a woman president in America. I'm going to say it again. I want to see a woman president in America. I am tired of seeing old Caucasian men. Okay? I am sick of seeing their faces. Okay? Whether it's a American Indian, a Caribbean, like we need a woman. I am like, who want to keep on seeing these old dudes that don't even have common sense? Okay? You think that they're speaking sensible because they're reading out of playbooks? Nah. We need a woman inside of America. We need different leadership inside of America, whether you want to call it left wing or right wing. And the whole world itself needs different leadership, because it's sad how we have nations, islands, continents, and places on this earth is running. The people are hungry, and it's not for food. Okay? The people are hungry. And when you are hungry, you are going to search for food to eat. You will go on autopilot. Thank you for everybody that joined this live. Peace and love to you and yours.